Hello folks, here we are. It's Tuesday and it's 7:15, which is about 2 hours, nearly 3 hours earlier than what I was doing this last night. Luckily we managed to get things done earlier today. So coming up, it's day 8 of the Advent calendars, which are Nightmare Before Christmas. And again, it's a character, I have no idea who it was. I didn't. And also a very different Harry Potter advent calendar today, because we kind of juggled with who it was going to be and we had 3 choices. I'll let you figure out in a bit anyway. And also I've got my top 5 Christmas films, and I'm finishing today with a Christmas poem. So it's all go, it's all coming up, and here we go with the advent calendars.
Do you want a treat?
Did you find out where door 8 was?
Nope. Today really is a search for the door today. I can't actually see through the finder.
That's 18.
Found it.
Good on you.
What's this, Jess?
Is it?
Totally oblivious.
See what we've got, shall we, mate?
What we got today, Jess?
I'm trying to find my way in. Wow. What we got? Sit. Sit. Ta. Ta. I want one. Good girl. Ow. One of you for your mum, give you?
Ta.
There you go.
Jess.
Yes.
Do
Hey.
you want one? Can you paw? 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 Good girl. Other one? Good girl. I'm gonna hold it. I want one. Good girl.
There's a good girl.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Hold on. I'm in your way, aren't I there? There you go. You lie
Hold
down.
on. You want to lie down?
Lie down. Good girl. Favourite spot?
Hold on. Folks, day 8. Here we go. Remember yesterday, like I said, was the clown. Let's see what we're going to get today. Had some cool characters in these, actually. Very cool. Today's is... oh dear, it looks like a freaky Mickey Mouse. Do you know who he is, Deb?
Are these one of the kids?
One of the kids? Ah.
What are the lock stop? That sort of thing?
Yeah,
I don't
all
know.
I know is he looks like Mickey Mouse on acid. So that is door 8 of the Nightmare Before Christmas Pocket Pop calendar. Folks, door 8 of the Harry Potter Yule Ball Advent Funko Pop thingy calendar. What's it? Right, door 8. And yesterday was Igor Karkaroff.
They're not easy doors to get into, they aren't.
Please, bit of advice for the people who make these. Don't be so sadistic with the doors.
To be fair, it is last year, so it might have settled a bit in the year.
No, it's the cardboard, literally. It's absolute nightmare getting. Please give us an easy one. We haven't had an easy one for a bit.
We haven't.
Who's that, Deb?
It's one of the Weasleys. Got orange hair, you can tell.
Should we go for Ron Weasley?
It might not be Ron, it might be one of the 2 older brothers.
Ah.
It looks like Ron, I must admit, though.
It does look a bit like Uzi. I
Looks
must
like
admit,
Ron.
the actor who plays him, yeah. So we're going for Ron Weasley, and that's door 8 of the Harry Potter Pocket Pop calendar. So yeah, when I first opened the Harry Potter calendar, I thought it was Ron Weasley, because he's the only one I remember actually seeing pictures of. I don't remember any of his brothers. And then Deb thought it was George Weasley, and of course it turned out to be Fred Weasley, which is obvious when you think about it. It's going to be the last one you think of, isn't it? Which just reminds me, actually, when people say that, when they say something's in the last place you'll ever look for it, well, of course, because once you find it, you won't carry on looking, will you? I always think that's a weird saying. Oh, it'll be in the last place you look, you'll find it. Well, yeah, because then I'll stop looking. Anyway, weird logic, eh? Yeah, today we got up nice and early, nice 9 o'clock start. Had the vlogs, had the unboxings all done for about 10, quarter to 11. Had a shopping delivery, which took, compared with, if you add yesterday's and today's together, it took nearly 3 hours to put away. So, yeah, you can imagine. We had to sort out the freezer, the fridge, the cupboards, everything. Oh, that's just reminding me of my medication. Just bear with me 1 second. I will pause. See, as you've noticed, I leave my pauses in and my mistakes because I like to prove I'm only human. I don't want to make a perfect video. I'm not really into all that. If I make a mistake, I'll leave it in and then bleep over it and do rewind noises and all sorts. Yeah, it was me medication. What it is, for some strange reason, I can never remember to take my tablets on time. I don't know why, it just skips my mind completely. So I've got a thing called MediSafe, which is a reminder. And every time me pills are due, it sort of makes a sound like somebody shaking medication. So I remember them. I'm terrible in my memory, especially for medication. I'm terrible for it. Yeah, what was I on about? Harry Potter. Yeah, so we got them sorted, job done. And then we had the shopping delivery and we put it all away. Let's put it this way, I'm definitely going to have a Merry Christmas. I don't know about Happy New Year, but a Merry Christmas, definitely. Cool, blimey. I think I've got three bottles of whiskey, full 1 litre bottles, plus 8 beers, and all sorts of weird stuff. Funny enough, we told you we had the Amazon brain again, the Asda delivery today, and I told you the other day that I got a message off them telling me that 4 of the things we couldn't have because they hadn't got them. Well, today they sent me another one telling me that my order had been packed and shipped and it would be delivered today, but there was 2 more items that they couldn't find, they wouldn't have. So they've replaced 2 items with 2 alternatives, and one of them's no good whatsoever because what it is, our dog has to have certain treats without additive colours, colour additives, because a fur falls out if she eats anything with too many additives in it, like E-numbers and stuff. So we pick her treats that haven't got them. Anyway, they've replaced one of our items with a treat that has got them. I'll just explain something in a minute after this. And the other thing that was replaced was something else, which was fine. I didn't mind that. But the one thing they couldn't provide was a bottle of brandy. Now, it wasn't for me to drink. It was for Deb to soak the fruit in for our Christmas cake, because she makes all the baking, you see. She does all the baking. She does all the Christmas cake. She does all the coconut tarts, jam tarts for my sister. She does Florentines. She does biscotti for my other sister down south in Stoke, Mandy. And, you know, it was weird. 1 bottle of brandy, and apparently they hadn't got any. No bottle of brandy. I hadn't even replaced it with a cheaper version because we'd gone for the 3 barrels 3 barrels premium one VSOP. It was about 25 quid or something, and they hadn't got it, but they didn't replace it with another one, which completely baffles me. So they can replace something like a packet of biscuits with another packet of biscuits, but they can't replace a bottle of brandy. Anyway, yeah, we put it all away, and like I said, the stuff was replaced, which is fair enough. Now, when you have a shopping delivery, you know, obviously, yesterday, I told you Tesco's was a doddle. It was a blind. It was fantastic. We had a couple of things out of date, and like I stated yesterday on my video, by the time I'd done my vlog and uploaded it, they'd refunded me the money. They were brilliant. And the funny thing was, it was only 1 item that was out of date, but they refunded us for 2, so I don't get that. But never mind. Anyway, the delivery come, like I said, we put it all away, and we noticed that some of the items weren't there because we're still missing something, believe it or not. They've still managed to leave something out the order that's supposed to be in there, and that's a little tin of, you know, evaporated milk. we have 3 tins because it's used in the trifle and all sorts of weird stuff. Whatever Deb does over there, I don't know. I just stay up this corner. I do mate on my computer. If whatever she's doing, cooking and baking, no, I'm the chief taster. Hard life, innit? So yeah, we're missing one of these tins. Anyway, I've written to them about 5 hours ago and I still haven't heard anything. With Tesco, I literally emailed them. Within half an hour, they've got back to me. Within an hour, I got a refund. So fantastic again, you see. Another plus point for Tesco. I'm not sponsored by them or nothing, and I'm not paid by them, or I don't get my groceries free. I'm just giving you this so that you can make a judgment yourself, you know what I mean? So yeah, we did that. We put all that stuff away. So by the time we'd sorted all that, put all the food away, had a cup of tea. We haven't put the rest of the special ornaments on the Christmas tree yet. We're still trying to do that. We've been trying to do it for 3 days. Luckily today, touch wood again, I've been feeling okay. I've not been feeling too bad. And by the time we'd had tea, which was a nice little, like a mini Sunday dinner, you know, sausage roast and spuds and that, it's time for me to do my vlog. So we still haven't got them done. The special baubles are still not there. Now, big thank out actually to my sister Paula. She came down last night with, she came down this morning with a bag of goodies. Nice biscuits and cookies and stuff, so I'm looking forward to them. Lovely. I don't know whether since I sat here eating biscuits all day, but I don't. I would have forgot the chance, but I don't. Yeah, so that was my day. Literally, that was the day done. I had a lot of nice comments yesterday for the poem that I posted for my auntie. Now, obviously, I don't post it to have nice comments. I post it because people, when I feel anything, any kind of emotion, whether it be a nice emotion or a dark emotion, I write poetry. I write a poem about it. And that's how I've managed to get through some of the darker sides of my life and also some of the nicer sides. An example is when I was with Psycho, I always call her that. When I was with my first wife, Julie, I wrote 6 poems in 3 years. When I was with Deb, I wrote 183 in 2 years. So, and all of them were romantic poems and love poems. All them 183. All of them. So it just shows you the kind of impact, you know, good feelings and good vibes can have on me for doing my creativity. Anyway, coming up on my top 5 Christmas movies. Now, choosing 5 films as my top 5 Christmas movies wasn't that easy, to be perfectly honest with you, because I like quite a lot of Christmas films. But I have managed to narrow it down to 5. So, straight in at number 5. Gremlins. Now, some people don't see Gremlins as a Christmas film, but I do, because it's set at Christmas. It's all about Christmas. It's all about, you know, there's all snow around, ice around. They're on about, you know, even in the music. Do you hear what I hear, and all this sort of stuff's playing in the background in the film. Now I love it because obviously it's got I can't remember his name. Zach Galligan and Phoebe Cates. Now I think it's a brilliant film. I really do. It's funny. It's got a lot of humour in it. It has, yeah, but it's got a darker side as well, as you'd expect, and particularly the last 4 minutes of the film. If you've not seen it, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but I'd say the last 4 to 5 minutes are the roughest. Definitely the roughest. But it's a very clever story. It's about a man who's in, I don't know whether he's in, I think he's in somewhere in America or some, I can't remember where he is. Yes, he is in somewhere. And he goes into this shop to try and sell inventions because he's an inventor and he sells weird and wonderful inventions like smokeless ashtrays and stuff like that. And he goes in, and he's looking for something to buy for his son because he's looking around this store, and this older guy comes out and asks him what he's doing, etc. And he says, "You sell everything here." He says, "I've noticed you sell everything." He says, "But you don't buy that." And he basically pulls out one of his inventions and tries to flog it. And while he's doing that, he hears this weird, like a high-pitched keening noise, a weird doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and he's wondering what the hell it is. Anyway, he gets drawn across this chest, opens it, and out pops Gizmo for the first time. Now, if you've ever seen it, the first time Gizmo pops out, everybody in this theatre probably went, "Oh," because he does it. He's cute. He's cute, Gizmo is. He's meant to be cute, you know. Anyway, what follows is the guy wants to buy the thing. He won't sally this bloke won't at any cost. The man offers an extortionate amount for what it actually is, and the little boy who's in the shop at the time, this guy's grandson, obviously they need the money, so he meets him in the back alley and flogs him. Gizmo, hence the story starts. Now there's 3 rules in Gremlins. Number 1 is they don't like bright lights, and sunlight will kill them. Sunlight will kill them. Number 2, don't get them wet. Don't give them a bath. Don't let any water fall on them or nothing. And number 3 is never ever feed them after midnight. And now, of course, you know, with this film, everything's going to go wrong. And first of all, we find out that when the guy gets home, he gives it to his son. His son absolutely loves this gizmo creature and starts teaching him music and singing and all sorts of stuff. And he accidentally gets him with the bright light. Bright light hits him, so they find out, first of all, he don't like the bright light, and he's shivering and shaking because he don't like bright light, this little gizmo thing. Accidentally gets him wet when one of his friends visits and knocks over a jar of water and it falls all over him. And basically, when it gets wet, it multiplies. Balls fly out of its back and it multiplies. But the ones that come out of its back aren't as cute as Gizmo. And there's one in it, the evil guy called Stripe, and he's literally a gizmo with a stripe. And what they do, they trick the lad into feeding them after midnight. And they feed him after midnight, and when they go into midnight, when he gets up the next day, they're all in cocoons. And I mean proper cocoons. And what comes out of the cocoons are gremlins. Not Gizmo. Gizmo's a mogwai. These are gremlins, and these are the evil side of the Gizmo thing. It's basically like a split personality, Jekyll and Hyde, but they're evil. They're green and black, and they're horrible looking things, and they look like something out your worst nightmare. But the thing I love about the film is it adds humour to it as well, because you've got them like in the bar playing poker and stuff and shooting each other because they're cheating. I mean, all this kind of stuff, and it's hilarious. Now, obviously, they did make a sequel, Gremlins 2, and it's funny, it's good, but I don't like it as much as Gremlins 1. So I would give this one 3 out of 5 stars, and it is my number 5 Christmas movie, Gremlins. Now, in at number 4 is another comedy, and it's a very, very funny comedy, and it stars one of the stars of Ghostbusters, Bill Murray, and it's called Scrooged, and that is my number 4 movie. Now, if you've never seen Scrooged, it is basically, imagine a modern version of Scrooge, but instead of him being a miser who has an employee who writes deeds and stuff like that, like in obviously the vintage Scrooge, this is a modern one, and this guy's a television guy who's ruthless, basically. He basically is ruthless. He will sack people for no reason. He's horrible. He's very self-censored. He doesn't belong in it. He doesn't really believe in Christmas or nothing like that, but obviously he gets visited by, first of all, his dead partner from years ago. He visits him, and then he also gets visited by 3 ghosts. Now, the difference with these ghosts, especially the first one, is this first ghost likes battering the hell out of him. It's a woman, and she's dressed like Tinkerbell the fairy a bit, but she hits him with everything you can think of. She's always smacking him in the face and hitting him with an iron and all sorts of stuff. And by this point, I was literally rolling around laughing my head off, because it was the strangest, weirdest version of Scrooge I've ever seen in my life, and it's really, really funny. There's a lot of humour in it. There's obviously a good, nice bit of sentimentality in there. It's all happy ending, you know. At the end, it's all happy ending and nicey and Merry Christmas, everybody. Now, it's also got another bloke in it who you'll remember from a series of films called Police Academy, and he's called Bobcat Goldthwait, and he's the one with the funny voice that always sort of speaks weird. It's kind of like that. He's, when he talks, you know, he's like that. Well, he plays a guy in it who Bill Murray fires and makes him redundant at Christmas. And the part that he plays when he comes back with a shotgun and tries to kill Bill Murray is absolutely hilarious. So Bill Murray's at this point is, you know, he's reformed, he's happy, he wants everybody to enjoy Christmas, but this guy doesn't understand, so he's walking around loading up a double-barrel shotgun and trying to shoot him. And it's really funny, it's hilarious, honestly. It's a really, really feel-good film because there's a lot of humour in it. There's nothing adult in it, really, you know, there's no sexual references or nothing like that. It's a really very well put-together film. and I would definitely give it 3.5 out of 5, and it is my number 4 movie, and it is called Scrooged with Bill Murray. Right, so we're on to number 3 now, and this has only got a human cast of 1, I think. That's got you baffled, hasn't it? In at number 3, it is The Muppets Christmas Carol. Now, The Muppets Christmas Carol, again, is the Scrooge story, basically. The very fantastic actor, Sir Michael Caine, one of my ultimate favourite actors, plays the part of Ebenezer Scrooge. And obviously the Muppets, the rest of them, which are Fonzie, Miss Piggy, Kermit the Frog, Rizzo, all of them, they're all in it, and they're all playing different characters around the Scrooge legend. So you've got Kermit the Frog playing Bob Cratchit. You've got Miss Piggy playing Bob Cratchit's wife. You've got, if I'm not mistaken, you've got Gonzo and Rizzo playing the storytellers. They're narrating it, and all the other characters are in it as well. There's a lot of good musical numbers in it. It's a really good feel-good film again. Because obviously at Christmas I tend to look for feel-good films. I don't want to see a horror film set at Christmas. I don't want to see an action film set at Christmas, really, other than Die Hard. Anyway, but yeah, it's basically the Scrooge story, but done by Jim Henson's Muppets, and it's fantastic. Sir Michael Caine plays a brilliant part and proves that he can be in anything. He can be a action hero in a film. He can be, a love interest in a film, and he can even be basically a centerpiece to the Muppet Show, because that's basically what it was. Because you remember the Muppet Show from the 70s and 80s, there was always a special guest. He is basically the guest of that film, and he plays it brilliantly. He really does. He plays a fantastic Scrooge, and then obviously once he's been visited by the ghosties and ghoulies and all that sort of stuff, he then becomes this nice friendly guy, and it's all good, it's all lovely, really sentimental, really lovely. And the reason I've got it in at number 3 as well is it's because it was my mum's favourite Christmas movie. She absolutely loved, of the Muppets film, sorry, she absolutely loved this film. And she was always going on to me about it, as one year she saw a version of it years and years ago with a song that was sung by Michael Caine and the female lead in it, who I don't know. And basically he ends up, Michael Caine ends up in tears, because basically it's when they go back in time to his childhood and he sees himself leaving the woman who he loved. He picked money over her, and it's basically the story. Basically what happens is he sings this song because it's to do with the fact that he let her go. And that's what the Scrooge thing is. It's about knowing that what you've done in the past you can make up for in the future if you really want to. And that's obviously, what the legend is all about. So, in at number 3, we have The Muppets Christmas Carol. Now, picking my number 2 was difficult, because 2 and 1 are definitely up there with the best Christmas movies I've ever seen, and I really have. And bear in mind, I've been watching Christmas films for at least 40 years of my life, maybe longer than that. I can't remember when I first watched Christmas movies. Now, in at number 2, and only just in at number 2, have a guess. Santa Claus the Movie. Santa Claus the Movie, starring Dudley Moore. And basically the story is, it starts off with an elderly couple, not elderly, a middle-aged couple, who basically, this is before Santa, before anything of that, just imagine it before all the legend started and all that. He basically is a guy who goes around the villages of this snow area. I don't know whether it's somewhere like Austria or somewhere like that, but you get the feeling it's somewhere like that. And basically what he does, he delivers presents to all the kids and everything. He always comes every year, and the kids wait for him, and his wife comes with him, and he does it for fun. He does it because he loves doing it. He gets pleasure from doing it. Anyway, coming back from one of the trips, it's a big massive snow blizzard and everything, and him and his wife end up, you think, freezing to death out in the middle of nowhere with reindeer pulling the sledge. So you can gather it somewhere, maybe Laplandish, I don't know, I haven't got a clue. But what happens is, obviously, bright lights and all this kind of stuff, and all of a sudden these little elves creatures come, elves actually humans, but elves, if you know, come walking out of this bright light, and then Father Time turns up, and basically, sorry, Father Time turns up, yeah, and then he basically becomes Father Christmas. He becomes Father Christmas right at the beginning of it. He becomes Santa Claus. And what the story's about is you go through all the years quickly, very quickly. It goes through all the centuries and everything. And you find out also when the first poem came out about him having a fat belly, and a stomach that rolled like a nice bowl of jelly, all that sort of stuff, the night before Christmas poem. And also you find out when he decided to only reward nice kids and not naughty kids. So, you know, it's all history, all the story to do with Father Christmas is in there. But we go to the present day. And John Lithgow, who's brilliant anyway, he plays a toy maker who is ruthless. He is a absolute criminal and a half. He basically has got toys where they've got like a teddy bear, and they take the head off, he tip it upside down, there's broken glass in it, nails, sawdust and everything. So he gets told that he's got to take all his toys off the shelf, or he will basically lose his license. Now, while this is going on, the elf, which is played by Dudley Moore, as kind of doesn't feel wanted at the North Pole. I won't tell you why, you can watch that bit and make it more interesting. And he ends up leaving and going to New York. He ends up going there, and he sees this guy's toys getting taken out the window and everything, and he assumes that this guy is a fantastic toy maker like Father Christmas. So the story goes that obviously he then decides to tell this guy, you know, oh, I can make Christmas brilliant for you if you want, I can do this, this and this. Anyway, the story goes that he is corrupt as hell, this John Lithgow character. Dudley Moore is as innocent as anything. He doesn't know what's going on. And it's all a story about how, in the end anyway, good prevails. There's a young boy in it who's on the streets and living on the streets, and there's a young girl who sort of lives in a rich house and everything, and they become friends. And then the boy overhears what the father's, John Lithgow, who's the girl's uncle, is going to do to Christmas. He goes to tell him, he kidnaps him, blah, 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 and it all goes on like that. And in the end, Father Christmas comes along, saves the day, and it's all nice, and it's a lovely family film. It's got brilliant actors in it. It's got a brilliant cast in it, full, supporting cast. It's got wonderful scenes and everything in there, good special effects, not bad for the time. And it's another really, really fantastic film. And my number 2 film is Santa Claus the Movie with Dudley Moore. Now, if people have ever watched my vlogs before, they will know when I've been doing my Christmas vlogs and I tell them what we do on Christmas Eve. Every single Christmas Eve. And now this film is 50 years old, and my number 1 Christmas movie is Scrooge the Musical. Now, there's been various adaptations of Scrooge over the years, all the way from 1930 or 20-something, all the way up. And in 1970, Albert Finney starred as Ebenezer Scrooge in my favourite adaptation of A Christmas Carol, and it's just called Scrooge. And basically, it's brilliant. The songs in it are absolutely amazing. You could sing along to every single one of them. They're very catchy. They're very singable. There's some sad parts in it that make you, a little bit sentimental and reminiscent of your past and stuff like that. There's some absolutely wonderful scenes in it. There's a bit of humour in there. There's a bit of light. There's a lot of entertainment in it. You can't really watch it without being entertained. Alec Guinness as Jacob Marley absolutely steals it. He really does. He's only in it for about 15 minutes, but the part he plays and the way he does it, Sir Alec Guinness, is just a legendary, honestly. The cast is absolutely fantastic. So you've got people like Albert Finney, you've got Sir Alec Guinness, you've got Michael Medwin, you've got Kenneth Moore. These are stars that in the 70s, these were big names to get in a musical. You wouldn't assume Kenneth Moore singing, but he does. Because Kenneth Moore, obviously, he's most famous for being Douglas Bader. When he played the part of Douglas Bader with no legs, the pilot and dude. Well, he actually is in it, and he's playing the ghost of Christmas Present. And it's absolutely fantastic, honestly. The way it's done and it's staged, it's just immense. It is immense. It's on for about 2 hours, and it's never boring in any shape or form. And it goes all the way through, obviously, the ghosts of Christmas past, present, future. But the extra little thing in this is there's a crafty bit in the middle, well, near the end, about 15 minutes from the end, where Scrooge ends up in hell. And you see what happens to him once he's in hell. And it's really, really clever how they did it and everything. You know, I mean, the scenes and sets are nothing special, you know. But for 1970, 50 years ago, you'll be absolutely amazed. And I watch it every Christmas Eve without fail. At 10 o'clock on Christmas Eve, we put it on because we know that by the time it's finished, by the time he's wishing everybody Merry Christmas, it's midnight. And we know then that we can basically just wish each other Merry Christmas before we go bed, before we go sleep. You know, and it's a tradition and it's a fantastic film. And if you ever get a chance to watch it, you watch it because it is absolutely brilliant. Oh, just as an aside, by the way, my sisters also love the film. My sister Paula loves it. My sister Mandy loves it. My mum, absolutely wonderful. She couldn't get enough of Scrooge the musical. It was a favourite adaptation of it. But she also liked the 1950 version, the Christmas Carol with, I can't remember his name. Just bear with me a second. I only paused that for a brief second then because I remembered it as soon as I paused it. Alistair Sim. Alistair Sim playing the part of Scrooge. But obviously that was just a film. This one is a musical. And, you know, you just watch it. I mean, it's also got people in it like Harry Seacombe. Harry Seacombe's in it. I keep saying Anton somebody, and it's bugging me as to what his name was. He was in Fresh Fields and French Fields. Just hold on, because it's bugging me. I tried to do this the other day. You know, when you get one of them instances where you go for search Google for something, and as soon as you try search for it, you know it in your head. Well, that's what's just happened. And it was the brilliant Anton Rogers. That's the name I was trying to think of. Anton Rogers. But it's also got Molly Weir in there. She's in there. She plays one of the the people who run a stall who owes money to Ebenezer Scrooge, because most of them owe him money, you see, obviously, because he was a money lender. But yeah, absolutely fantastic film. My number one Christmas movie of all time is Scrooge the Musical with Albert Finney. So there you go. There are my top 5 Christmas movies. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope there was something there that made you go, yeah, definitely, or no, I wouldn't have put that in. Because everybody's got different things, what they think of Christmas movies. You know, some people probably would have put Home Alone in there. Die Hard came close to being number 5, by the way, because I do like Die Hard. But I wanted to put proper Christmas movies. You know, movies that are basically to do, as in, I associate with Christmas. I don't automatically think I'll put a Christmas film on and whack Die Hard on. You know what I mean? But I'm the same with Home Alone. I'm not really a Home Alone Macaulay Culkin fan. I used to hate him. I used to think he was a right little I couldn't stand him, honestly. I don't know why, I just couldn't. I never got my head around that fascination. I mean, he's probably a decent bloke, you know, really decent bloke, I don't know, but no, I didn't like him. Don't like Macaulay Culkin at all. My personal taste, I suppose. Anyway, coming up, as I've done my top 5 Christmas movies, I thought I'd finish with a Christmas poem. This is a poem I wrote some years ago, and basically it's a reminiscing poem, and it's just called Christmas Revisited. The children knock upon the door. There may be 3, there may be 4. They stand there and remind you of you as a boy. Listen to them, hear your voice, you're filled with joy. It's that time of year when the good shines through, not enough time for the things you have to do. There's the shopping and the wrapping and the Christmas cards to write, but the dreams all come true on that one special night. Shops are busy, streets are hectic, headless chickens on the loose. Got to get a turkey, or should I get a goose? Hurly-burly, squished and squashed, a million in the queue, but it's worth it just knowing it's special to you. Gifts are bought, wrapping now, sellotape in a mess. You know you've overspent, to yourself you confess. Shiny paper, bows and tags, all done so neat, and some kisses on the tags to make it all complete. It's Christmas Eve now, too late to worry, just sit and relax. A glass of wine and some mince pies, lighted candle burning wax. As you sit and you think of the Christmases past, there's a tear and a smile, for you knew they wouldn't last. Early morning, wake excited as you did as a kid. Get the presents that you wrapped, don't forget the ones you hid. Walk in the room, see the smiles, see the children's eyes aglow. Take a look from the window, cold but no snow. Sit and watch memories smile as your hard work is seen. Try to stay calm and just laugh like it's part of a dream. Then the hugs and the thank yous and the kisses well meant. You know that it's worth it, whatever you've spent. 3 hours later and you're sitting down for the meal. The children's excitement betrays how you feel. While it's wonderful to see that the tradition's not died, it's everyone full as you let out a sigh. Night time comes so fast and the children fall asleep. So you watch them so silent as they breathe so deep. It's over, it's done, gone for another year. Next year you'll be older, but the magic will still be clear. And that's called Christmas Revisited, and I wrote that back in, I'll tell you the year actually, I wrote it in 2001, 19 years ago, and I still feel the same about Christmas. I absolutely love it. And on that note, I will give you a fond farewell, and remember that in Harry Potter today it was Fred Weasley, and in The Nightmare Before Christmas it was Scary. See you tomorrow.